So, hi, Amy Sharon, and the saga continues. Oh my God. I am on my way to MD Anderson. Ooh, weird shadows. I'm on my way to MD Anderson. I'm exhausted. For those that don't know what's going on, I am not legally allowed to ever enter my home again or take anything out because it's contaminated with, serious white mold. I was found, like, basically I just woken up from I pretty much passed out. I think they think 6, 7 hours. And I was so dehydrated that they couldn't even get blood out of me for test. And then because it was a cancer hospital that, I normally go to, MD Anderson, for like this really rare cancer called IBC. So weird. It usually hits younger black women. And I'm like, it's already rare, like 1% of the population has it. And then it's even really rare because of my age. And, well, I think I'm white. I mean, who knows? There's so many family secrets, like disturbing, like my mom just can't tell the truth about anything about my past. But, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not part black. I really wouldn't be. My cousin is half black. Anyway, the situation is I had to buy all new things, which it's just cheap stuff, trust me. I went to Walmart. I found some really cute things, though, for Walmart. I don't know. I don't usually buy clothes at Walmart, but I'm pretty happy with it. But I had to buy new shoes. I had to buy new everything. And then I came to an extended stay. Well, here's the thing. I used every penny I had to buy the clothes to get the hotel. Texas has not helped me yet. But MD Anderson is going to get in big trouble because you're not supposed to discharge someone if their home is unsafe. They're supposed to make sure, like, you have a safe place to go. And you're not going to believe this. Like, they discharged me, and my ex just wheeled me off to the sunset and, like, wheeled me. I'm joking. It was super hot out. And he wheeled me to a hotel. And I'm like, this is MD Anderson, like one of the richest hospitals in the world, and that's how they treat patients. Oh yeah, and they're gonna know about the video because I got like these 6 stalkers that like tattletale on me, and like they'll send my videos to the police. And can you believe that? Like, to try to make people not like me. And so I don't care. MD Anderson is under investigation. How they've treated me is inhumane. It is cruel. It's a long story, but there's enough documentation that they might be in a little trouble themselves. Like, I asked for a chaplain and a social worker and was denied that. That's not even legal. It's in your patient, like handbook that, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just send someone off when they feel they need prayers, and God, did I? And then of course I need a social worker because I knew I was going to run out of money, which I did. I mean, I don't know how I'm not losing my mind. I literally am negative $29 right now, and I'm only paid up in my hotel, I think, 2 more days. I put a deposit down for an apartment. Can you believe all this? No one helped me. Did it all, me, myself, with mold poisoning and feeling like I'm going to drop dead any day. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually. I mean, check it out. First, I almost died from COVID and cancer at the same time after a year of chemo, basically. But then I made a comeback. And then the mold poisoning had me so deathly ill that I couldn't eat or walk. And now I'm eating and walking okay, not great. It's like it takes a lot to knock me down. But being homeless in 110 heat index, disabled, definitely will knock me down. I need emergency help. I can only give people my location that I know, and if anyone could get maybe a few more days at this hotel, it's really urgent. Hopefully I'll get accepted for the apartment. They're running my credit. If it's so, I already gave my deposit, and I'd move in Saturday, but I'm moving in with nothing. So anyone that, has furniture that, maybe they want to get rid of, or they know a church that might temporarily help out. I'm in a lawsuit, but come on, we know that could be over a year before I see my pain and suffering damages. And more than that, I mean, I have really, really nice things, and I started from nothing after massive injustices, and I thought I did a really good job, and I'm like, God, what next? Now I can't take all the things that I worked my you-know-what off for and like all the research I had to do to find the best deals. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Does God just, it's like the book of Job, like, are you really just showing me? Because I've never doubted that you exist, but I'm on pins and needles right now. Is anyone going to help? I'm on pins and needles. I'm technically going to be homeless. And guess what? I'm on my way to MD Anderson for the whole day. And this stupid hospital. Woo! I said, all the money you got, 4 years, millions, trust me, millions. And you can't figure out emergency housing for a cancer patient? Are you kidding me? Over a tragedy of no fault of my own, like mold poisoning? I'm not allowed to go home. There is a case from the health department. They are investigating the levels of white mold in my home. Are y'all really? I said, can I at least get a gift card for your cafeteria? Because everything at MD Anderson is ridiculously expensive. Can I please? And I haven't even had them say they'll give me a gift card. I said, can I get free parking for my friends? Because I think it's like $25 or $50, crazy parking. And didn't get a gift card for parking for my friends either. Like, y'all are a joke. Let me tell you something. I don't care how MD Anderson feels about me. I don't care if my stalkers send him this video. I used to work at that hospital. I was a national makeup artist for Christian Dior, and I was assigned to dying, tragic, sad little stories, people that had no hair, no eyelashes, no eyebrows, and I did their makeup, and I heard the most horrific, the most horrible, way worse than my story. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this hospital does this to patients? Not to mention their nickname is All Day Long. I have literally waited for appointments on the average. Well, at the beginning, I waited up to like 6 to 8 hours. I think one time 9 hours, 10 hours. And they don't even say sorry because MD Anderson thinks they're God. And yes, they save a lot of lives, but they also make a hell of a lot of money. And they'll tell people, oh, go ahead and do the chemo, like my friend Stacy Stair. And she didn't have a chance. She sold her funeral home in Boca, Florida. They sold her house. They sold everything. And she went through all that. And then she died, I believe, during the chemo. And I know they knew, okay, you can say, well, she had faith. And yes, but to take someone's money like that, do you know how many people sell everything to try to live? Do you know how rich MD Anderson is? Do you know how rich that hospital is? Oh, if you're from a foreign country, wait, if you're not even an American citizen and you come, let's say from Saudi Arabia or China, do you know that they'll give you free housing, but they won't give an American citizen like me emergency housing? Can you believe that? Are you pissed? I'm pissed. And trust me, they know. And I told them, you now are getting a grievance letter from my insurance company and you're in trouble because I finally, after years of your crap, finally reported with documentation what you've put me through. See, the thing about MD Anderson is once you're in remission, they treat you like crap because they know that all the money is when you're doing chemo. I think someone said chemo is like $150,000 a pop. I don't know what to believe. I know it's expensive. And once they knew I was in remission, what now, maybe almost a year, I just was treated like chopped liver there because they're going to just wine and dine the newbies who will spend a hell of a lot of money to live. And I tell you what, it's a disgrace how this hospital treats people. And I don't care. I don't care who I piss off right now. I don't care. If you knew what they did to me, I mean, first of all, they left me to die in a room with COVID for, 28 days. They didn't clean any yucky stuff because they feared they would get COVID. And I was one of the first to be hospitalized there. So there was like, may I say, feces, vomit, everything all over the place. And because they were scared of germs or COVID, they let me rot in that knowing I couldn't smell. MD Anderson. Oh, trust me, I have the videos to prove it. So then my friends got mad and contacted the hospital. They wouldn't even feed me. They were leaving my food tray outside the room and they would write on the glass door, "Are you okay?" And I was so sick I couldn't even speak. And I'm like, I can't reach the marker for the door window. Like, oh my God. I was completely isolated. I was completely alone. It was the most horrific thing you could imagine. It was like being in one of those scary hospital movies, with ghosts running around and you're going, oh my God. Like, it was terrifying. I was too sick to ask for help and they left me like a dog to die. And they actually thought I was going to die because they gave me the Zoom, like, goodbye to your family option thing. And somehow I made this huge comeback after a prayer chain was done at the time, my church, like 7,000 or 8,000 prayers. And they literally were like, get your affairs in order, with urine all over me and starving to death. I lost 22 pounds in less than a month, and they're okay with that. But here's what's funny. I didn't sue them over that because I thought, well, hell, they're trying to save my life. I'll cut them some slack. But then they did some really disturbing things after that, after they promised that nothing like that would ever happen again. Yeah, right. So then I snitched on my doctor, who believe me, he deserved it. He yelled at me for reporting him. You can't do that. Like, it's your legal right as a patient to report things that aren't ethical or not, pretty disturbing. And see, when you have IBC, you don't have freedom because there's not many doctors that treat it. So you're stuck with just a small group. And then MD Anderson's allegedly the only hospital that treats it. So I get this really disturbing, creepy doctor. This is after I had this wonderful doctor named Bora Lim. Oh, a little angel. She used to squeeze my little cheeks. It was big cheeks, may I say. And she was so cute. And she made me want to live, because she had such a sweet, loving personality. And then she left. And then I get stuck with this Hitler-like doctor, like really scary, like laughing as you're crying kind of doctor. And you're going, okay, is he just nerdy, quirky, like nervous, like laughing? Or is he just like that evil? Well, I came to the conclusion that I think he's that evil. Trust me, I got my reasons. So I want to go back to Dr. Bora Lim, but someone said she's just in research. So I'm trying to see if she'll make an exception or give me a referral, because I've had it. I have had it with this monster doctor, his stupid care team that doesn't care if I live or die. I've had it. Now, if my cancer's back, then they'll treat me like a queen again, because it's big money for MD Anderson. But if you're just doing follow-ups and every 3 months, I think CT scan, they treat you like garbage. I'm not even joking. So that's my emergency. 2 days from now, after spending all my money on a mold crisis, and being in this hotel, it's pretty cute, whatever. It could be worse. There's all the clothes in my name. There's only tennis shoes. No, I have 2 tennis shoes. About 5 t-shirts and maybe 3 pairs of jeans. And I have a lot of clothes at home, infected or contaminated with white mold. $15,000, quote, to fix it. And the landlord's refusing and the city's finding them. And I have a personal injury lawyer looking into it, or whatever kind of lawyer this is. And still, I haven't had any help. I'm kind of proud of myself. I did have to sell something, a piece of jewelry, for another few nights at a hotel. This is a disgrace. But I think my day is up tomorrow. Thursday, right? My last day's Thursday. Anyone that I know, because I'm not going to let a stranger get my room, but if you private message me, I'll tell you what room number I'm in, what hotel I'm in. Saturday, if I can get a little help, I'll be moving in a new apartment. I put down the deposit. I think it was $300. That's a lot for me right now. And then I Ubered, which was like another $100 there and back from where I was at. So it's just a nightmare. But I'd be moving in my apartment with nothing. So I'm just going to get a blow-up bed at Walmart. And then maybe some beach chairs. Oh my God. Do y'all remember how nice my home was? This is tough. I still have faith. I think, am I a fool? I still think God's gonna bless me with, it's cutting it to the last minute. But I just have this feeling something weird's gonna happen. I don't think I'll be in a 110 heat index with battling cancer and long haulers, COVID, and mold poisoning. But Texas is the worst place to live. I have people in other states saying if I was there, there'd be a church in a heartbeat paying my helping me with my first month's rent. I'm like, where's those churches in Texas? I'm in Pearland right now. Okay. I'm not even in Houston and I'm loving it, but I haven't really reached out to anyone in Pearland. I don't know this city at all. I don't know one person here, but anyway, hope today goes well. They're checking my lungs for the mold, I guess, today. I'll be gone all day at the hospital. This sucks. Okay, if anyone wants to come see me at MD Anderson today, I'll meet you outside. And if you want to help, I'll meet you outside. This is my world. MD Anderson and trying to figure out how to live survival mode 24/7. Oh, I feel pretty good because they gave me something for anxiety. I feel pretty good today. Hence the giggling. What the hell is this stuff? They gave me something for PTSD and anxiety. That's my only diagnosis. It's not bipolar, not schizophrenic like CPS and my parents lied about. Some whacked out witness who is a teacher that gave an expert medical opinion about me. Crazy. Yeah, I was diagnosed with PTSD and just anxiety, which who wouldn't have anxiety with this life? But I feel less stressed out on this medicine. And I don't really feel drugged. I just feel very loopy. I don't know if that's good. All right, so if I'm acting strange, blame it on the medicine. What's it called? Wait a minute. Let me see what it's called. Ow! Ooh, ow! It's hard to walk. My muscles hurt. All right. It's something specifically for nightmares. I have nightmares a lot. Who would? I have nightmares about my mom killing me. Isn't that weird? I've been having these nightmares since I was a little girl. She used to be green, like in my dreams, she'd come to me, like the Wizard of Oz green lady. It was my mom's face with that color. Woo! I mean, that was terrifying. I mean, I already thought that witch was scary as a little girl, but then your mom is that color, and your mom already has these beady green eyes. Woo! Like she looked like a snake or a lizard coming to me in my dreams. And she would try to kill me, and then I had dreams where she pushed me off a cliff, where she strangled me. And I don't have these dreams about other people. Am I just crazy, or is there reasons that I was having those dreams about my mom? I mean, what kind of toddler is scared of her mother? I was. God, I had such a strong intuition that my grandma wrote a poem about me, that I was unusually, tuned in to how people felt. And, I could read people as a kid really well. And, yeah, my grandma was like, I've never seen a kid like that alert and that capable of knowing things. Matter of fact, my grandma was cooking for me one day and she was so beautiful and she had this scarf on and she always smiled and the best grandma anyone could want. Miss you, Grandma. Miss you, Dad. Miss you, the Sharones, the good ones in heaven. Anyway, my grandma smiles at me and I think she was making me fresh steamed crabs because we used to go crabbing and that kind of stuff when I was little. And I said, Grandma, how are you today? And she goes, great. Just great, honey. And I said, Grandma, how are you really? I think I was 9 years old. She's like, what? How are you really? I said, good, honey. Grandma, I don't know. I don't think so. Turned out my grandpa had allegedly hit her or abused her in some way. She left him. And, she couldn't believe that I knew something was wrong because she was covering it up with her beautiful scarf and her clothes. Anyway, I mean, my grandpa, I don't know how I feel about him. He's gone. He's been gone a long time. I mean, he was such a movie star looking grandpa. Both my grandma and grandma looked like they stepped out of the most famous Hollywood movie. And I did really love my grandpa, although he wasn't loving like my grandma, but I just thought as a kid he seemed cool. But then I noticed how he was talking to my grandma. But see, I grew up in such dysfunction, my parents fought all the time. So I didn't know really what was normal. I think I knew that a woman shouldn't break a plate over a man's head. Johnny Depp, where were you 30 years ago? Or 40 years ago, where were you? My dad was getting the crap beat out of him by my mom, and the police never believed his story, even though I was a little kid saying, no, he's telling the truth. And then if you tried to push my mom off of him, then he was accused of abuse. I think he got arrested twice for only trying to protect himself. And I was voiceless. Officer, my mom, it was self-defense. They don't listen to you because what? I'm a kid? My poor dad, man. And Mom, if you're watching my videos, which I know you watch them all, because my stalkers give you all my information, and this I know for a fact, Mother, Mommy dearest. You don't scare me anymore, Mom. You destroyed Grandma, you destroyed my dad, and you destroyed my daughter by taking her mommy away at 2 years old and really messing up her brain in her formative years. Hence why she's having all these serious health issues at 14. And my daughter has TMJ on her left side. And guess what? I got diagnosed with TMJ at 14 years old on my left side. Because when you live in my mom's home, you grind your teeth at night because it's horrific. So, Mom, you don't scare me. My daughter's finally rebelling. She's already made comments about you. And she will get brave enough like I was to leave that home like I did senior year when I went and lived with the Toohey family in Kingwood, Texas. And you can lie with your money and look like the most, sweetest lady ever. But the truth is, you're a demon. You're a demon. And in the end, my daughter, who knows, she may write a book. She may be in a movie. I'm a little old for all that now, but my daughter, she's going to be the one that finishes the story. Because my daughter, Markel Sharon, has already told me creepy things that just didn't add up. And when you have a little girl saying for a year she threw up in a school, for a year? Markel, did I hear you right? A year? Yes, I was always nauseated. Yeah, you were ripped from your mommy's arms at 2 years old. That will cause probably vomiting and nausea for a year, maybe for life. My mom goes, oh, don't tell your mom those things. And my daughter looked at me like she was scared, and those words haunt me. Why the hell was my daughter vomiting for a year? Because I'll tell you what, I have arsenic poisoning, I have cadmium poisoning, I have mercury poisoning. Trust me, I'll put the results on my Facebook. And I was a very sickly teenager, very mysteriously sickly. And then I went all my adult life with the weirdest, rarest immune problems. Like the weirdest names that no one's ever heard of. Now a rare cancer. You think I'm lying? Let's say for argument's sake that with cadmium poisoning or arsenic, that it does cause rare autoimmune diseases. And I lose my daughter for health reasons, not because I was a bad mom. They said under oath, I never abused her. She never was starved. She lived in a beautiful home. But they got me on my past because I took high dosages of steroids and it caused steroid psychosis 1 year. And my mother is so evil that she used that steroid psychosis as an excuse that I was bipolar, when she knew darn well that it was medical-induced psychosis. This is how evil she is. Now I have people that will go to court. They will testify that I only have PTSD and anxiety. Woo, don't we all today in this Biden lawless world? But I'll tell you what, it's not over. Because you know who's going to say the last thing? You know who's going to have the last word? You know who's going to finish my book? My daughter, Markel. Mark for to the point, and my dad's name, Mark Sharon, my late father. And then Ellen, Hebrew, God. So her name technically means to the point God. And you know what? God will be the final judge. I don't wish harm on people, even if I hate them. I don't. But I do believe my mom will have an agonizing eternal life in fire. I do believe it. I really do. And all these people she destroyed, we're all going to have peace knowing that she is where she belongs. And I'm talking about my dead relatives who all knew how evil she was. And they all tried to get help like me. But when you got a lot of money, and when your husband was appointed by Governor Rick Perry, and, a real popular governor back in the day, you better believe that they can buy pretty much what they want with their connections and their money. And it's a disgrace. And it really, what, now I feel like vomiting. They make me sick. And this is America. There's no justice. There's no justice even when you have evidence, even when you can prove you're telling the truth, and even when you know your daughter's in danger. Sure, they can buy her off. She's confused. She's young. I'd be confused too if I went to Vail every year since I was 2 years old and private ski lessons and skiing the blacks and, having anything I want. I would be confused because she's been trained to be materialistic and confused and brainwashed. It's not going to go down that way in the end. She will break away. She will realize how wrong it was. Keep my daughter from me when I'm battling a rare cancer and almost died several times in the last couple of years. What an evil monster. Ooh, sick. Anyway, I have to go off to MD Anderson for the day. And thank you for joining me. It's a little early, so I don't think anyone but Lori Ferris is here. And hello, Lori. And please pray for me, Lori, because tomorrow I'm going to be homeless. You know why I'm laughing? Because I don't believe I'll be homeless. But I hope I don't do a live video dripping in sweat, look like an idiot. Lori, if you know anyone, please tell them. I'm in Pearland. I'm in extended stay. I paid all my money to be here and get some new clothes, and I can't go home ever. So this is a real emergency. All right. Bye.